YouTube, what's good? If you tapped in, you already know who I am. If not, my name is Caleb Jury, and we back with another video. So I had a supporter that commented on one of my videos, and they asked a question on basically saying, can you talk about achieving hard goals through life? And the way I would put it is, you only become what you believe. So in order to become what you believe, you have to have a track record, in my opinion. So what do I mean by track record? Track record is, do you do what you say you're gonna do? You feel me? Do you accomplish and hold yourself to a standard? And if you don't, it's gonna be hard to become better. It's gonna be hard to become what you believe, because you're not holding yourself to a standard. You're not holding yourself to, the level that you think you should be at. You feel me? Sometimes we have extraordinary levels or expectations, but we got poor performance. We have poor action. We have poor execution. So what you have to do is constantly put yourself in times where you challenge yourself. You feel me? That's something that I have to do a lot for myself, whether it's physically, spiritually, mentally, financially. And the reason I challenge myself through those things is because that's how you continue to get better. You feel me? That's taking care of your health. Google the word health. It's going to be overall well-being. So health is just with spiritual, it's physical, it's financial, it's mentally, you feel me? Even with relationships. So you have to challenge yourself and put yourself in certain areas, certain rooms, certain circumstances, all those type of things to accomplish and recognize, okay, this is who I am, and I actually hold myself to the standard. So this is where I'm going. This is how I know I believe in myself. This is how I know I believe in who I am and who I say I am. I believe in what I do. You feel me? So it's like you have to put yourself in certain circumstances, and sometimes, really a lot of times, honestly, as you go through life, you'll start to understand that life puts you in a lot of those circumstances just by living. You feel me? As y'all can see, I'm in a new environment. I moved 2 hours away from, my hometown, and that's a circumstance where at one point I didn't believe I could do it. You feel me? Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I did believe I could do it. I just didn't know the timing of it. And that's the thing that you have to recognize, is that sometimes just because the timing isn't right doesn't mean you don't believe in yourself. Sometimes it's just you gotta wait a little bit longer. You feel me? You gotta have some delayed gratification to achieve some of those things that you believe you're gonna achieve. But what helps you continue to achieve those things are not giving up by showing up. You feel me? Being consistent, being disciplined. And those little things that you work on day by day build up to those outcomes that you want, which is what you said, achieving those goals. So how do you achieve those goals? You feel me? You have to break them down and do them task by task, to bits and pieces. And the more that you build these bits and pieces, you start to build these layers. You feel me? These layers of discipline, these layers of consistency, these layers of higher self-esteem. You feel me? Sometimes that's an issue too, is not having as much self-esteem as you should into yourself. And sometimes that comes from being in a poor environment. When you're in an environment where there's people that's not achieving things, there's people that don't have goals, there's people that aren't looking forward to more in life, you tend to take on that mindset. Unless you go against the grain, you feel me? There's a narrow path and there's a wide path. It talks about it in the Bible. Most people are going to take the wide path. What's the wide path? A poor mindset, no discipline, no consistency, no relationship with God, no relationship with yourself, not understanding yourself, not digging deeper into yourself to understand why you are the way you are, who you are, you feel me? But when you take this narrow path, that's when you actually start to recognize things. Your eyes become more wide, you feel me? Your mind becomes more wide. You start to get in circumstances where you're starting to think more. And sometimes the thinking can pop up as negatives, but once you negate those negatives and learn how to bounce back with, speaking to yourself, speaking life into yourself, understanding that you're actually not going through some of those negatives and, going against the grain of the initial thoughts that come in your mind and try to, give you anxiety or depression or any negative emotion, you start to recognize that you think a whole lot better after. Once you get across those times and those thoughts where, okay, I'm not having anxiety, I'm not having as much depression, it starts to be thinking of, okay, I can do this. All right, how am I gonna do this? What do I need to do to get me to the point that I want to be at, into the circumstances that I want to be in? You feel me? I'm actually finna go walking in about 20 minutes or whatever when I finish this video. Mind you, I'm moving in a city that I came when I was probably at the worst point in my life. If you follow me, you already know like pretty much kind of how my story is. But for y'all that don't know, just to sum it up, I had been in my first breakup, all that type of stuff. So niggas, like the first breakup be, you crazy. You don't really understand how to move about certain situations, all that type of stuff. You heard all that type of stuff. So blase, moving forward, I'm going through that at the same time that I have leg surgery, where I had leg surgery in my first playoff game ever playing quarterback, starting quarterback, all that type of stuff. So I'm going through this time where everything seemed like it's being taken from me. I'm losing my identity because my identity was in sports. And if you play sports, you kind of understand when sports are gone, or the things that you used to do all the time are gone, and you no longer really have that chance or opportunity to pour into that area anymore. It's like you don't understand who you are because a big piece of you was gone, and a big piece of you was in that identity of playing sports, or in the identity of being, whatever it was that you was, point guard, shooting guard, quarterback, running back, all that type of stuff. That's what people identified you as. Oh, you're good at this. So because you're good at this, this is who we identify you as. Okay, so I'm going through all of that time. And mind you, I go through surgery and all of that is pretty much swept away. So I'm at this point where I don't know where I'm at in life. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know, what I'm striving for. I don't really have any goals. People that I thought I was cool with, turns out, you feel me, the only reason we related was because of the things that I identified as, you feel me, and what I was doing. So basically, what I'm saying is I came to the city and trained with my uncle for about a month. And I stayed here, and that's when I really started to build my identity in myself and start to understand myself. I started not caring about other people and what other people thought about me. And that's going to be a big thing that helps when it comes to achieving your goals, is not caring about what anybody else got to say or about what they think. People don't understand why I moved to this city. People don't understand why I up and left, my hometown. People don't understand why I went and got my real estate license, because they don't see the vision. You feel me? I see the vision. And that's what you have to do. You have to know the vision that you have and go after it. You have to know the vision that you see, that you feel like God gave you, and go after it. You feel me? Put all trust in you and put all trust in God. You feel me? And then when you feel like you don't trust you, that's when you lean on God. You feel me? Because when you weak, he makes you strong. So that's when you can lean on him even more. So what you have to do is understand and believe and know who you are. How do you get to that point? Put yourself in different circumstances. Put yourself in different trials. You feel me? Push yourself. You feel me? If you're not working out, I feel like every man should be working out. Every man should have a gym membership or some access to working out. You feel me? Where there's calisthenics, walking, all that type of stuff. You have to push yourself. You don't think you can run a mile? Try to run a mile. You feel me? And each day, work on that. Boom. You may only make it half a mile or a quarter of a mile. You feel me? The next day, we're going to go for a little bit more than a quarter. You feel me? You may only be able to walk 20 steps, or you feel me, 1,000 steps or 5,000 steps. You may not be able to get to 10,000 yet, but guess what? Each day we're building the discipline and the consistency. That way we can add to those numbers. That way we can build those layers. It's like climbing up an elevator, you feel me? You have to push each button. So keep pushing buttons. That's all I would say. Keep pushing buttons to climb to the next floor, to climb to the next level of your life. And when you look at life like an elevator, there's going to be people that you allow to get on your elevator, and there's going to be people that sometimes they want to get off. And you can't hold people hostage to a level that they don't want to be on. You can't allow people to dictate how you feel about yourself based on the level that they want to be on. You can't take everybody with you. You feel me? So as you're bettering yourself, you stand on your disciplines, you eating your right stuff, you stand on your diet, you working out, you taking care of your health, you taking care of your mental, you're reading, you're doing all the tasks that you need to do to become a better man or a better woman. You have to recognize that everybody isn't on that same path. And what does your path require? It may require more discipline. It may require more focus. It may require you not going to the club. It may require you not going out spending all your money. Instead, you may be like in the mindset of, okay, I need to save this $300. I need to save this $500 instead of spending it and splurging it. To what? Try to get validation from everybody else that don't really care about you at all. So once you start to understand these things, you start to recognize that you have to believe in yourself and understand the agenda that you have for your life, or understand the agenda that God has for your life. And once you and God on the same path, there'll be people that come in your life that either want to take you off of that path or add to that path. You have to have enough discernment and enough awareness to recognize who is who. And sometimes you gotta have discernment with yourself, because that old you that I was talking about that you have to kill will sometimes try to hold you back and pull you back. And you have to break those things, those mindsets from your past, because you'll go through life while you in the present, in the future, holding on to things from the past. And all that's doing is slowing you down. It's not helping you. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you stagnant. And once you start to break those things, you start to recognize you're becoming a better version of you. You're becoming a version that you see yourself being. You start to believe in yourself more. Why? Because you have a track record of you breaking those things, adding more positive things in your life, adding more positive people to your life, adding more positive habits to your life. Y'all know my motto, mindsets, healing, and habits. Once you heal, you start to change your mindset. Once you start to change your mindset, you start to break the habits. And you start to add these positive habits to your life. And guess what? It's like full circle that goes back around. Now once you've healed, you have positive habits that lead to a better mindset. What does a better mindset lead to? Better outcome.